I thought that they told me there was going to be explosions and things like that when I got on stage. That didn't happen, but maybe next time we can set that up. I'm actually not going to talk about partying as much as I'm actually going to talk about celebration, and my talk is actually called Celebrate or Die. And it's a serious thing, so I need to find the clicker, and then we'll move on. So yes, great intro about Tech Cocktail. We're a media company who covers tech startups around the country. We do them through events and celebratory moments. So bringing communities together to showcase what's happening, and then literally using that as an opportunity to tell the story online on our website, tech.co. We travel the country, and we're now in 35 cities covering what's happening in these different places. And then talk about a celebration. We actually pull companies from all over the country and bring them together for a celebratory moment in Vegas in October. So it's kind of like our Super Bowl. It's kind of like American Idol for startups. So that's coming up in October. But really what I want to talk to you about, though, is starting up and running a business is actually a roller coaster ride. It's an up and it's a down, and it's all the time, and you've got to hustle your brains off. And how many people have actually started a business here? Right, so some days you might not get out of bed, right? Like, it's a hard journey, and it can hit you in the face some days, right? So what I want to do is talk to you about how celebration can actually help you, and it's actually a tool that you may not even know you have. Yes, it's a tool. I'm calling celebration a tool, which means not in a bad way. It's a good tool. And basically, it can be used to keep momentum going. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. First, I want to understand, does anybody actually use celebration right now as a tool? One person. Wow, this is going to be fun. All right, so somehow my slide that was black turned white. Celebration is acknowledging and sharing. So I'm basically setting the context of what we're talking about. It's not just, let's throw a party or whatever. While that is a part of it in some cases, it's really about acknowledging and sharing with your team, your customers, and your community, and using it in a way that can help keep the momentum going. So people take pictures all the time. How many people have been taking pictures of food today? Me, I did earlier. It was a donut. I had a donut. Dunkin' Donuts is just like every block here. So I'm very caffeinated and filled with sugar and gluten. So we take pictures. This is us in our regular lives, sharing and acknowledging and celebrating, wow, I had a donut and it was fun, and sharing that along. But we don't necessarily do that in business, right? Like, we don't really, it's not the same, right? So, but you can use this same kind of opportunity to share and celebrate certain things within business. So I'm calling it a part of the productivity process and a major tool, and ultimately using it to help motivate and keep momentum going. So you hit that day when you're like, crap, I do not want to get out of bed. I have thousands of meetings and 10,000 emails to read, but I need something. And it may be something right in front of you that you don't even know exists. And if you have set up these celebratory moments to keep you going, and as a booster, it'll propel you through. So how many people have seen this? It looks like it's running off the screen, but it's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It has to do with motivation. I'd say celebration fits into the esteem area. So along with the getting respect from others and by others, if you create these moments and you're sharing and you're acknowledging, people are sharing and acknowledging with you publicly, it boosts your momentum and pushes you through, and it motivates you. So we're going to talk about celebration as how it can help your team. That's more of an internal, help you externally with your brand or your company, and then help you within the community. So Jessica Kim here in Boston. How many people know Jessica? Anybody? Babico? One person. All right, good. So basically, she's got a startup called Babico. It helps you figure out ideas for what to do with your children. So they send you a box of things that includes like sticks and things to be able to create activities. Saves you time from having to gather those things and do it yourself. Monthly subscription. She and her team you really wanted to celebrate and use celebratory acknowledgments and celebratory moments to produce momentum. So they decided on Wednesdays, which is hump day, in some cases you either go good or bad after that, decided to create something to showcase what they're doing. So they have like wins, right, within their company, and so they decided to combine Wednesday with their wins, and every Wednesday they would take a moment at 4:30 for actually it's more than a moment, about a half hour, and they go around the room in a circle and share their wins. These are all wins that are going towards their bigger goal in their company. And so in doing so, they were now acknowledging and as a team celebrating that was happening within their company, and in doing so, creating this propelling moment to get them through Thursday. So small thing, right? But it helped. This is a cake. How many people like cake? I like cake. This is a cake, and so there's a company called BrightTag in Chicago. Their CTO, Eric Lund, used to be the CTO for FeedBurner, is now with BrightTag. Creates these moments within their build. So they create an amazing product and build and push it out as part of their ongoing process, and they name them. This one was named after the enterprise. So they complete the enterprise, they create a cake around it, and then as a company, they come together and devour it. And in doing so, they're now celebrating, acknowledging that they have this process and it's systematic. So they've actually taken cakes and made that part of their celebratory systematic approach to continue to improve in momentum as a company. Okay, dance party, right? All right, who likes to dance? I do sometimes. Okay, so Tech Cocktail Media Company, we cover tech startups. As I mentioned, we produce a lot of content. And so when we do that, you're constantly pushing out a lot of stuff, but you don't necessarily always celebrate it, right? So what we've done is on Fridays, we started sending a newsletter, and we use this company called Chartbeat. It keeps real-time analytics. And what we do is you would see a spike when you send out a newsletter, right? And so we were excited about that, right? But we didn't know how to really take that to the next level. So what we did is we decided, we're going to create something. We're going to create something called the Chartbeat Dance. And every time that we send out that newsletter, we're going to bring Chartbeat up on a big screen, and all of our team, which is spread around the country, goes to that. We all play the same track, and we dance around the room. Because that's fun, and it's celebrating the fact that as a company, we've actually had a great week. We've been successful. We've seen a huge spike, and we're now acknowledging the fact that we have this momentum. I like ketchup and mustard and hot dogs. So does Zappos. They're a company out in Las Vegas as well. They have a hard time, so they have a great time during the holiday season. So holiday season, crazy, right? So it's their celebratory Super Bowl moment. Like, they kill it. But the thing about that is it's also very draining. It's not just Christmas week, it's the week after. Like, people return stuff, and they have to be there the entire week. So get through the first week, yeah, we're so high. Next week, they're like, crap, I can't get out of bed, but we still have to because we have this is our Super Bowl weeks. So what they've done is they created the holiday hangover week, which basically allows them to go through the high, get to the bottom, and then say, wow, we got to push these people through, and they create this propelling momentum to go through that next week. And by doing it, they create these quirky kind of fun things. So one example is they have hot dog day, and they bring in a cart and give everyone hot dogs, but they don't just do that. They also make it more fun by creating by having a hot dog, person dressed in a hot dog, along with a ketchup and a mustard. And that's just one thing that they do to kind of try to lighten the mood and make sure that people really acknowledge the fact, yes, you're doing amazing work, and yes, you can continue through that, but you know what? You need to keep it going. And it just kind of makes it a lighter, more celebratory moment for what they're doing. All right, so that's about team. Let's talk about brand and company. So Oomba Box, they're a company out of DC, and basically, their founder really didn't understand celebration, didn't even think she was a tech startup, created a box service for showcasing handmade goods and wanted to send it out to people and really couldn't find a curated place to find things like that were on Etsy or whatever. So she created a company called Oomba Box. Her husband urged her to go out and celebrate what she's doing, acknowledging it, going to an event, and sharing what she was doing with the community. She didn't see the importance of it, went to do it. Within as soon as she got off the stage with pitching her company, she was approached by people who were inspired by her. They thought she was amazing, really wanted to do something similar with their own. She was a finance background and just punching away on Excel spreadsheets months before, and now she's doing this, what she was passionate about. So my point is, she met those people that were really, that's a motivational push for her, but also she met one person. He's an investor with 500 startups. So that moment where she went out and she decided to acknowledge and celebrate what she was doing with the community basically gave her a motivational push to keep her going. And at that point, she was a small team. And then she also got an investor that pushed her through 500 startups and allowed her to ultimately take it on to the next level. So without that moment, she wouldn't be where she is today. It was a pivotal moment for her career and for Oomba Box, now called Oomba. And I'm running out of time, so I'm going to, OK. So quickly, Uber, another U name, nothing against U's. I'm not trying to highlight all the U companies that I know. But Uber also did something really interesting. They decided to leverage celebration to launch their product. And in doing so, got the entire community behind what they were doing. And it ended up turning out really well for them when they were ultimately turned by the governments in DC and San Francisco, and name another city that they've had a hard time in, came after them to shut them down. But what they had now, they had a community celebrating with them the moments along the way, like the launches, and then Valentine's Day, and then ultimately when they deliver burritos randomly or ice cream or whatever else they wanted to celebrate at the time. So it's marketing. It was marketing. It was brilliant. But they allowed you to get involved with what they were doing and celebrate what they were doing. And in doing so, they now had a huge ally in the community. OK, so how? OK, I'm going to quickly go through the how. It's different for everyone, and it depends what you're trying to do. But what you can do is you just realize where are you hitting these lulls as a team. Like if it's the internal, like what I talked about with the team, figure out where you're hitting the lulls. What is it? Is it burnout? Is it what are the low points? And then ultimately insert some kind of fun celebratory moment that you can ultimately create that push to get you back up. Within, maybe it's like sales, like you want to kill it on sales. Simple one, insert a sales bell, and ultimately everyone's going to want to ring that bell at some point, and that's a fun moment. So small things, and seem trivial, but they actually do help keep that ship going. From a community and brand perspective, there's other ways that you can leverage it to continue to, going out and doing things like what Oomba did. Uber I would definitely do a case study on how they launched because they did a great job with what they were doing. So those are a couple examples, and I know I'm really almost out of time here, so that's a blank slide. I was going to definitely talk about the negative effects of what you can do with this. I mean, if you don't celebrate, you're missing an opportunity, right? Like, there's a huge opportunity for you to leverage what you're doing, and some companies wait too long, and then there's nothing, right? So you basically got to take advantage of it when you can, but the opposite side of that is being over-celebratory, and then you lose all the meaning. So it's a lot like, similar with marketing in general. Like, you've got to figure out where the right time is and the right place, but if you pick your spots right, it'll help you keep on pushing through. So obviously, it can help you with momentum. It can help you with your mission. It can help you with motivation. It can produce energy. It can help fight burnout, help draw attention to what you're doing, and is super contagious. So let's celebrate tonight. As you mentioned earlier, it's not just about partying, but we are doing stuff tonight. So if you have a chance, come out to the parties on Boylston Street. There's going to be a lot of them, 8 of them, I think. So we can all lift a glass together and celebrate. Thanks a lot.